Hi there guys, my name is Jacob and welcome back to the channel. Now in my last video I did a cost of a living update and I shared with you my costs for the month of June 2025. And surprisingly that video has actually done quite well. It's nearly up to about 3,000 views. So if you are one of those people that have watched that video, I just want to say a huge thank you because that has been my best performing video for quite a while. But along with those views comes a lot of comments. And in the comments, I have seen a bit of a theme where people are pointing out the fact that I've missed out certain costs for the year. Now, some of those costs that they mentioned were things like car insurance, car tax, home insurance, holiday costs, just lots of things that to me are annual costs rather than monthly costs. So I just wanted to clarify because I think people got the wrong impression and maybe thought that I had left out these costs to, I don't know, artificially make my monthly costs look lower than maybe they are. But that is not the case. Basically, a lot of the costs that people mention, such as, let's take car insurance, for example. Now, I know a lot of people pay their car insurance monthly, and that's absolutely fine. However, I choose to pay mine on an annual basis, just as a one-off payment. So that is why I have not included them in my monthly costs. It's not to kind of, as I say, leave them out so it looks lower than they are. It's just simply that in June, I don't have any of those annual payments go out. So therefore, they're not included in June's expenses. But obviously that doesn't mean I don't have those costs. Of course I do. I've got two cars. They both need insuring. They both need taxing. They both need maintenance, things like that. But of course, those costs would just be included in the months that I incur those costs. So for me, I think it's February and March that our cars are due for insurance and MOTs. So of course I'd include those costs in those months. Holidays were another one. Holidays are just something, again, I just pay for as and when they come up. So, you know, it's not something that I have as a monthly cost. When we book a holiday, we just pay for it up front and that's the cost done. And again, people were asking, well, how do I pay for these things? You know, and as I explained in the video, most of our monthly costs, or pretty much all our monthly costs, in fact, are covered by one of the incomes that we have. Now, as I explained, I have a full-time income and so does my wife. And we aim to keep all our monthly costs down to below one of those full-time incomes. And that means that the second full-time income is free to be able to save, invest, and cover these extra costs that come up throughout the year. So, for instance, when car insurance comes up, in that month, that might be a £500 or £600 extra payment that we have to pay for. Well, that money would come from the second income for that month. So we would choose to save less money that month and take some of the money that we need to pay the car insurance from that second wage. And the same with holidays and things like that. We just, on the months that we book those, you know, those bigger things and incur bigger costs, we take that extra money out of the second wage to pay for them. And that's just how we've always done it. Now, I know that might seem strange to some people because I think a lot of people do these things as just a monthly cost. And that is probably because it's easier for people to budget. If you have everything just coming out as a monthly cost, there are no surprises throughout the year and no big lump sums that you have to account for. But for us, we've always just thought we wanted to keep our monthly costs down to the lowest we can possibly keep them. And that just frees up extra kind of cash flow that we can then choose to divert into savings and investments and paying off the mortgage, things like that. And of course, we've got, you know, small pots of money that are like emergency funds. So, you know, if something was to break down, such as, you know, the washing machine or, you know, a big car maintenance cost, something like that, that we have additional pots of money that we can kind of just dip into to help us out in, as I said, an emergency. But generally speaking, we can get by on a monthly basis with one wage covering all the bills and the second wage as that spare money that we either pay for these big additional things that crop up occasionally, or we use that money to save and invest. But I just wanted to clarify that, because a lot of the comments on that video had kind of mentioned that, and I didn't want people to get the wrong impression. So I hope that's cleared that up and made a little bit more sense. Now, I'd also just like to thank a couple of people who have used the links in the description of that video. And again, those same links will be in the description of this video. And that is there is a link for Octopus Energy. So that is if you're interested in swapping your energy provider from obviously a different supplier to Octopus Energy, then you would get £50 of free credit when that switch goes through. And that £50 just sits on your Octopus Energy account and will of course go towards paying for your next bill. So, you know, it's basically £50 free to cover some of your energy costs. And I would also get £50 if you use my referral link. So if you have used that link, I just want to say a big thank you. And again, there is another one for a mobile provider. It's Smarty Mobile. And that is my mobile provider. And I explained in the last video, I have 2 SIM-only deals with Smarty. And they've worked great. They cost me just £6 a month. And I have 2 of them. So that's £12 in total. But I've put a referral link in the description box. So if you want to change over to a different mobile provider, then they've got some really great SIM-only deals at the moment. And the best one that I've seen on their website, they're currently offering unlimited texts, unlimited calls, and unlimited data for £18 a month, which I've had a look online, and that seems to be a very competitive offer. And as I mentioned in the previous video, I have found their network coverage to be far superior to the likes of EE, Virgin Media, O2, things like other providers like that. Because I've tried all those, and my house just seems to be a dead spot for all those. And yet with Smarty Mobile, I get 5 bars of signal pretty much wherever I go. So I've had no issues whatsoever. And the added benefit is you can also use it in Europe and when you travel internationally. So I've used that a couple of times since I've had them. And again, I've had no issues whatsoever. The plan just rolls over to, you know, the country that you're in, and you can just continue to use your data, your text, your calls, and you do not get charged anything extra. So again, if you're interested in swapping mobile providers or just, you know, a new SIM-only deal, think about using my referral link to Smarty Mobile down in the description box. Right then, guys, I'll leave it there because this was supposed to be just a short update video. But if you enjoyed the video, please consider hitting the like button and the subscribe button, and consider checking out a few other videos on my channel. Right then, guys, I'll catch you in the next one.